Hello, my name's Mike Tomorrow, and I want to welcome you to the latest episode of My Life with Asperger's. I did a video recently, like a couple of weeks ago, talking about TV shows, TV talk shows that would be interesting going on, and I just want to provide you with an update on how things are going to go with that, and see if anything does turn out to be okay. I did apply to be on the Ellen DeGeneres show. I did apply to be on that show under the being influenced category, like a person that influences the community and all. So maybe I will be on the Ellen DeGeneres show, and I can share my story about my life with Asperger's on that show. I did apply to be on the Rachel Ray show, and under that category is like to be the next TV star or the TV reality star. And I feel that I should go on there and prove my point to Rachel Ray that and to the world that I can be a successful TV reality star. Maybe I can earn the millions and millions of dollars to be a TV star. You know, speaking of that, I did mention it on the application when I did fill it out for that show that I did previously try to get on the TV station in Key West, WEYW, and I couldn't get on there because I didn't have the sponsors or the money or the production company to do that. It's just a one-man show here with a webcam. So maybe I can get another chance if I go on national TV and say, hey, why don't you try getting me to have my own TV show out there? I would love to have my own TV show and talk about my life with Asperger's and show the people out there my life with Asperger's. I'm just getting sick and tired of those other shows like the Kardashians and the Jersey Shore. And, come on now. Why we need shows about that? They're pointless. Why not have a TV show talking about an adult that goes through life having Asperger's syndrome? It's like, come on now. Isn't that hard to do? Isn't that easy to do? I don't care. People need to know what goes on in the life of an Aspie. Whether or not the world wants to see it or not. That's why I do my videos, My Life with Asperger's, to try to illustrate a point. And try to teach people how life is living with Asperger's syndrome on a daily basis and the issues that go through on a daily basis with Asperger's. Another show that I did apply to be on is the Maury show. So maybe I'll get on that show. And I didn't mention it on the last video about the Maury show and all that. That's okay too. The next show I'm going to suggest is the Steve Harvey show. And I feel that Steve Harvey could take me on his show. Because I am the type of people that they are looking for to be on that show. I just don't know if it'll be acceptable. But I feel that Steve Harvey is a great guy. He's the host of Family Feud. He's the host of his own talk show on the radio. He's his own talk show on the TV. I feel that Steve Harvey would be a great talk show host to bring me on to his show, and to talk about this. Another show that I'm considering applying for, and I have not, is the Dr. Phil show, because I am going through emotional problems right now, living with my mom and dad again, and that needs to be solved. I'm not going to talk about it on here, but I do have problems living with my mom and dad, and dealing with my mom and dad is real hard, and I just don't know what to do in life, and maybe Dr. Phil can help me out. I can tell my story about my life with Asperger's on there. Now, another show that somebody suggested to me that I should try is The Doctors. I'm thinking, why should I go on The Doctors? And I'm thinking that's a medical show, and Asperger's is a medical condition, but I don't know if the doctors would handle my show. You know, there are other shows that I did apply for as well, or I wanted to apply for and I couldn't because they didn't have a form that I could submit online. One of them is the Katie Couric show. I know I said I wasn't really crazy about going on the Katie Couric show, but I'm willing to go on that show now, and talk about my story because there is somebody else. One of my friends wants to talk about her story on the Katie Couric show, and maybe we can tag team together and we can go do the Katie show together. Another show I was going to consider doing is the Jeremy Kyle show. Don't know if you guys have ever heard of that show. I tried applying on their website too, but their website is a Facebook page, so I couldn't really apply for their show on that one. Another show that I wanted to try to apply for is the Bethany show, and that show is coming to come out in the fall. I guess the show is already on the air on some of the stations, but they want to put it on syndication on more stations in the fall. So maybe I could try to be on that show. I'm going to try to get on a new talk show here, if there are ones out there, because they're looking for fresh ideas, and fresh perspectives and fresh story ideas. And another show I did apply for was the Billy Cunningham show, which is on the CW, and I'm willing to try to be on that show too. Any talk show I'm willing to be on. I don't know if we could try to be on Today or Good Morning America or CBS This Morning, or one of those shows too. I don't know if I would be considered to go on those shows. Maybe I would. Maybe I'll try those shows too. Maybe I can get some of my Disney connections to put me on Good Morning America. I'm already trying to look for a TV show, a morning show at least, to have me on there to talk about the Texas Mile Day. And yes, there is a Texas Mile Day Facebook page. And I'll talk about that more when we get to go closer to the actual date of the Texas Mile Day, which is on March 13th. And I want to try and make a yearly event. So already I'm trying to get going here and trying to find a morning talk show also to get to talk about the Texas Mile Day. I just don't want to go on a talk show as well, a morning talk show, and talk about my story with my life with Asperger's. I could try to do that, but I don't know if that would work out. Maybe it will, but I just don't know. I don't know if they would accept me to be on their show, believe it or not. I could try. Any talk show would be great to go on and talk about my life with Asperger's. I'm even considering trying to get on a talk show in Canada. Try and find a great talk show to go on in Canada. But honestly, I don't know if there are any talk shows in Canada. I know they have the Maryland show in Canada, and I tried to apply for that one too. But they didn't have anything online that you could try to apply to be a guest on that show. So who knows, right? Who knows who could take on me on their talk show? I would love to be on a talk show and talk about my life with Asperger's and the struggles that I go through on a daily basis. And I did also, when I applied and talked up in a summary of my life here, my story, I did put down that I'm hoping to write and publish a book about my life with Asperger's someday too. So maybe that's the confidence builder I need, and hopefully I can go on a talk show like Ellen DeGeneres, because she is so generous. That's good rhyming, huh? Ellen DeGeneres and generous. Because Ellen DeGeneres is generous. You know, she could be the next Oprah Winfrey for all I know. You know, maybe she could help me out in my life too. Maybe Ellen DeGeneres show would be a great idea for me. But I'm going to keep my eyes open for the other talk shows too to see if they're willing to accept me and let me go on their talk show and talk about my life with Asperger's, you know. And I don't mind trying the morning talk shows too. You know, maybe I'll be successful. You know, maybe I can talk about my life with Asperger's and talk about Texas Smile Day. You know, it just doesn't hurt to try, you know. So I will talk to you guys all later, and if there's any more updates on potentially me being on a talk show, you know, maybe I can try some of the radio talk shows too. I would not try Rush Limbaugh. No, I would not. Maybe some of the other ones they'll allow guests to come on their show. I did try Autism America Radio, but they never got back to me. And I don't know if they want me on their show or not. So we'll see. We'll figure it out somehow. Someday, somehow, someone's got to let me go on their talk show, whether it's on TV or radio. So I'll talk to you guys all later. Bye for now, folks.